Adiyoli Charana, Jayanandalala. Today is a very special topic for everybody because all of us have this issue we go through. That is fear. We're all familiar with that word, correct? Everyone, all of us go through fear. And we come out as a coward in many situations. It could be the circumstances that put us there, or whatever, for whatever reason, we may come out as a coward in the end. We did not take the right decisions. We did not do what was supposed to be done. We did not stand up for the right. We did not stand up and say something is happening that is not, justified. We stood there quietly watching it. When the situation was such that we could have said something, we chose not to. So these kind of situations happen in our life many, many times, where we look back and we think, I could have said something. See, by saying something, it's not rude. Ambal has said not to be rude, but Ambal has never said not to speak up. Ambal has never said to caution someone when they're rude, or to say, that really hurt me, that hurt my feelings. You should not have said it. To speak up for ourselves, you don't need anyone's permission. All our scriptures, all our stories tell us that we have to speak up for ourselves. We have to guard our self-respect. By being timid, submissive, it's okay for a while, but in the long term, it's not a very good thing. It's going to lead us towards darkness. When we lose our voice, it leads to darkness within us. So being submissive is only for a period of time. Okay, you're giving that person a chance. You're saying, okay, let me see. I'll give one more chance and see if he does it again or she does it again. Over time, being submissive is not a good thing. Nowhere in our scriptures it has said that be patient, take violence, take cruel words. Find me one story where that person has been like that and in the end he has gained something. No. If according to his karma, the God would have come and settled things for him. That is his karma. All of us are not blessed like that. And God has not told us to take cruelty or take violence. Or take violence does not need to be always physical. It can be even verbal. So none of us are bound to take anything negative. We are supposed to stand up for ourselves and speak up. There's a beautiful story in Amma's book that, I mean, it's a story from Amma's book, which is Sparkling Words. This is Sparkling Word. It's a book. It's a very small book. And in that, there is a story. And the main header for the story is Don't Be a Coward. It's like literally telling you, can't be more straightforward than that. Don't be a coward. It's very important. It's kind of a wake-up call for many, many, many people who take violence verbally or physically. They tolerate and tolerate and tolerate lot of things, injustice towards them, towards their family. This could be happening at work, or this could be happening at in a house, in your family, around you. You're ill-treated, you're verbally abused, you're continuously put down, and you tolerate it. Right? A lot of us are like that. We endure the pain over and over again. Just a little story to wake you up. All right? For those people who do this is for you. So listen up. So this is a story from Amma's book, and she has taken it from Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's book. She has stated that in her book. She said this story is from Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's book, and I liked the story, and that is why I'm sharing it with you all, is what Ambal is saying in her book. There is a cobra. Okay, it's living in a pit. Now, cobra's qualities are what? It hisses, it will come, and anyone who dares to walk past it, it will hiss and it will go to bite. This is the normal cobra's characteristic, right? So one day, cobra is in its pit and a sadhu walks by. Obviously, the cobra's instinct is to get out and hiss and follow the sadhu and go after him to bite. The sadhu charmed the cobra with a spell, and it became timid. The spell made him timid. And then the sadhu went and petted the cobra and fondly, and he said, look, hereafter, stop biting everyone. Okay? And he left. So the cobra followed the advice. It followed the advice and settled down in the pit peacefully and quietly. It led a very peaceful, quiet, calm life. Now comes the test. One day, a few boys came there. They saw the pit. They know the cobra's there. Obviously, boys have the boys' attitude. They go and take a stick and then they like tuck, tuck, tuck on the pit, you know. They're like, whacking the pit. Cobra couldn't take it. Imagine that. Somebody quietly sitting, doing nothing, saying nothing. But these boys come and hit the pit continuously. Cobra didn't do anything. They poked the pit. Cobra got poked. In many places, it got poked. It didn't do anything. The boys thought it lost its venom. Obviously, when you know a snake has lost its venom, not we, but people like these boys, they'll take advantage. It's cruel. But when you know a person is weak, you take advantage. You want to beat it up more and have fun. There's a pleasure at it. Throwing stones at the cobra, poking the stick at the cobra. Somehow the cobra escapes from there and goes to the sadhu. It endured it for a long period of time. It endured all that cruelty for a long period of time. And it went to the sadhu and it started explaining its situation. It says, "You told me not to bite anyone. Now look at my state. What do you say about this? I listened to you." So the sadhu looked at it and said, "I advised you not to bite others, but I never asked you to remain quiet when others torment you. Did I say that?" He said. "You came to bite me. Did I torment you? No. But you came to bite anyone, you went to bite anyone who passed by your pit. That's why I asked you not to bite others. I never asked you to stay quiet and endure torture." Why didn't you hiss and expose your hood to frighten the boys? He said. You have the most powerful hood, the head. Have you seen a head of a cobra? He doesn't have to do much. He can just come out and show the head. Everyone will run away. The same beautiful snake on top of the Lord Shiva. Nothing. Just look at him beside that neck on circling around the neck and wrapped around the neck beautifully and staying like that. There's some power. It shows the most powerful thing around his neck. Makes both the Lord and the snake stand out so beautifully. So the sadhu asked the snake, "Why couldn't you just come out and show your head and hiss? The boys would run away." There is no point if you remain quiet and keep enduring the pain. You have to fight back. When your patience runs out, you need to fight back. Never be a coward, he says. Sadhu says to the snake, never be a coward. And then he says, yet, whatever action you take must not prove harmful to others. What a beautiful advice, right? Sometimes our patience and endurance and foolishness, that's the topping, icing, the foolishness can affect people around us too. Not only affect us, it can affect the people around us too. In this case, the cobra was alone. Let's take our situations in our lives, in our family. Think about it. It's very important. Today, Ambal has told me to talk about fear and to be brave, not just like that. Every single person here needs it. When you come to Nandalala, right? Especially in India and Chennai, I've always mentioned this before, but I don't mind mentioning it again. More and more I mention it, kind of, you know, sticks in there. Ambal has always pulled women. She has always taught us women to be strong, independent, and to prove to the world that we are worth something. She has helped us find our best traits. You may be good at so many things, but you may not be aware of it. Go talk to every woman in the Nandalala family. They will be able to tell you, I never knew I could write. I never knew I could translate. I never knew I could cook. I never knew I could take, a role and be a leader in this. I never knew I could teach. There are a lot of I never knews, but that was pulled out of that system by Ambal because you had it. You always had it. You came with it. It was a gift given to you. Only she knows. And she pulled it out. And she wanted to reveal it to the world that, see, this is so and so, my devotee. I'm proud of her. My bhakta. Everybody is a woman. We have more percentage of women in Nandalala who shine. Everybody has a role. Nobody is put behind. She talks of everyone so proudly. And what is she doing by that? She's creating an identity for every woman. This era, I mean, sadly, a lot of us women are stuck in the kitchen, stuck doing for the household, stuck doing for the family, which is important. Don't take me wrong. Ambala said duty is to do for the house first, to do for your family first. A lot of times she'll send you back saying, போய் வீட்டை கவனி first. Go take care of your house first. That being said, she has also told us how to balance, and she has told us this is also important. Doing community service. The happiness you get out of community service is immeasurable. So she showed every woman in Nandalala that you can derive that happiness. There is a story, another story from Mahabharata where Lord Krishna is involved. Who doesn't like Krishna? Now, after the war, everybody won the war and the Pandavas are happy, everybody is done. It was almost time for Lord Krishna's avataram to come to an end. That is when Lord Krishna is alone with his friend, Uddhava, his childhood friend. Now, Uddhava is riding the chariot. Lord Krishna is sitting in the chariot. They're passing by a lake, and suddenly Uddhava stops the chariot and they're quietly looking at the lake and the view. And Lord Krishna asks Uddhava, Uddhava, my friend, my dear friend, you have been with me since we were little, but you have never asked me any questions. You've always done what I have told you. There is nothing that you don't know. You have been with me throughout. You've seen everything, ups and downs, but you have never questioned me. Do you have any questions? I'm here for you now. You can ask me anything you want. That's a beautiful chance where the Lord comes and asks, ask me anything you want. I'll answer. Uddhava had questions. The Lord obviously knows that Uddhava has questions. Obviously, that's why he asked him, do you have questions? Uddhava says, yes, I do have questions for you. I have a lot of questions for you, he says. I feel a lot of injustice has been done. A lot of injustice has happened. And I want to know why. The Lord says, go ahead, ask me. What is it? Well, let's start from Duryodhana. When Duryodhana invited Dharma for a dishonest gambling game, you kept quiet, knowing fully well what is to happen. You kept quiet. You could have stopped or manipulated the dice. Why didn't you do it? Dharma lost his kingdom. Then he had to put his brothers. He lost the brothers too. And then Dharma put his wife. You could have at least meddled then. You could have saved Draupadi. Draupadi loves you so much. You even put her down. You did not do any of it. Then she was brought to court and she was disrobed, humiliated, and then in the end you appear and proudly you declared that I have saved her. How is all this fair? You say this is all fair? Tears rolling down his eyes, Uddhava looks at Lord Krishna and poses this question. This big question. Many questions. I'm sure all of you have the same questions. If something happens, immediately go to Shree Amma, Akilandeshwari and scream at her. You knew. Why didn't you do this? Why couldn't you stop? You already knew this was happening. You pushed me to this. You did that. You did this. So easy. Target is Ambala Kilandeshwari. Let's see what Lord Krishna did. Okay. Lord Krishna patiently listened to his outpour. He smiled. He smiled and he said, I have answers for all your questions, Uddhava. Let me start from the beginning. Why was it that Dharma did not have the presence of mind and discretion that Duryodhana had? When Duryodhana asked him for the dice game, he did not say, I'm going to play the dice game. He said, my Shaguni Mama will play the dice game. Why did he do that, Uddhava? He did that because he had the presence of mind. He knew that he was not good at the game. He told that Shaguni Mama will play on his behalf. Why didn't Dharma have that presence of mind? Dharma, fully aware that he is not good at the game, why did he say, okay? Why couldn't he say, Krishna will play for me? Why didn't Dharma say that? Am I not there? He took it upon himself. He could have said, I would roll the dice for him. If he had said that, wouldn't I have rolled the dice for him? And we would have won the game. Fair enough, right? Let it be, Krishna says. Let it be. Let's leave that. Done. The worst part, what Dharma did was, when he entered the court to play the dice game, he closed his eyes and prayed to the Lord. He prayed that I have committed a grave mistake by consenting to gamble with all these people. Please, God, Krishna should not come to know of this. He should not at any cost come here. The worst. Dharma, with his prayer, tied me up, Uddhava. He tied me up with his mental prayers. I was waiting outside, helpless. I was waiting outside, hoping somebody would invoke me. Somebody would call me. Krishna, come here, help. Uddhava, none of the brothers called me. None of them called me. They were all very busy cursing Duryodhana and cursing all those people and fighting and screaming, but none of them called me. I was outside, waiting. I hoped that at least Draupadi would call me when she was asked to come. But she just stormed into the court, thinking she can handle everything herself, shouting, arguing. She believed in her own strength. Even when Dushasana was disrobing her, she was fighting with him, calling out to all the members on the court. Only when it came to a point that she knew that she could not do anything and no one was helping her over there. She put her hands together and she said, Krishna, come. Panchali saved me from the helpless state. I had been all along waiting, and Panchali saved me. That's when I came. I helped. Tell me now, Uddhava, did I do anything wrong? Uddhava was speechless. He looked at the Lord and he said, yeah, your explanation does seem fair. But I am not totally convinced, Krishna. Is it that you will come only if you are called? Even when justice is at stake? Do we have to call you? Will you not come on your own? Good question, right? You all have this question. The Lord Krishna says, well, Uddhava, each person's life is constructed according to his, her past actions, and which we call as karma. I don't interfere with that. I am just a witness. I watch. I listen. I'm constantly watching you and your actions. That should prevent you from doing anything wrong. Right, Uddhava? Do you understand the secret now, Uddhava? He said with a smile. That's enough. We always know we're always constantly being watched. Her eyes are always on us. That should keep us from doing wrong. Isn't that enough? Then comes the next part. The Lord says, only surrender can save you, Uddhava. If we believe in our capabilities during our hardships, we will tend to suffer. Do your duty and leave the rest to the Lord. That is what I've always said. Dharma should have known that I am watching. Dharma thought by praying that keep Lord the Krishna away from here, he thought I don't know anything. I knew everything from the start. If he had known this, he wouldn't have made that grave mistake. So taking things in our hands and doing whatever we know will only cause harm to ourselves and the people around us. So we have to be spiritually mindful. Spiritually mindful is surrender. Take his name. Do what we have to do. Leave the rest to the Lord. He will lead us. We just follow. See, we see a beautiful um, scene here where we all have the same situations that we face, where each and every phase in our lives, we come through these tough situations and we pause and we immediately think, why did he have to do this? To the goddess, to the Ambal, who is watching every single thing we're doing. But we have the nerve to ask her that question. Because we don't have the right. We don't have any right to ask Ambal why. We think we do. We don't. Because even in that, whatever tough situation that she has put you in, it's for your own good. It's for your own growth. It's for your own well-being. When we started off the session, I said tolerance, patience, and enduring ill treatment, violence of any kind, abuse for a long period of time is not good. So we saw that even in Mahabharata, in this story, Dharma did that, right? He was enduring. That is what Ambal said. It's foolishness to endure for a long period of time. It will only take us and lead us to darkness. We are all blessed. We have the Ambal. Dharma also was very blessed. He had Lord Krishna. All of us are blessed because we have that ultimate strength. Remember, they are waiting outside the door for you to call them out. This story should tell you that. They're always waiting for you to call. They're always waiting for you to surrender and say, please take over. And I'll just follow. This is the same Arjuna that told, the same Lord Krishna that told Arjuna to leave all the emotions aside and to fight his guru and all the people that were standing in front of Kaurava's side. Remember, he couldn't even take his weapon. Think if Arjuna didn't do that, what would we be in now? Dwapara Yugam would have been a different scene altogether, right? Surrender is the answer. There are situations that we may not be comfortable doing. But if the Lord tells us to do it, we have no other go. We have to do it. There's so many situations in my personal life. I know a lot of Nandajis who have had where Amma has said, do this, but it's very uncomfortable to do. But they had to do it and they did. And the end result was good. Always good. She has never told anybody to let go of your self-respect. She has never told anybody to be a coward. Always stand up for yourself, speak up, and be strong. Don't be naive. Don't get fooled by others. She usually really likes people who are uh, smart, intelligent, and she speaks about them very proudly. I'm sure you all have seen Ambal, whoever has known her. Um, Shree Amma has, there are situations where she's proudly talking about an individual for their independence, for their whatever they've achieved, their role they have played in the community. Lot of women folk she has spoken about. So much proud. Um, you can feel it. That's who we have to strive to be. Man or woman, gender doesn't matter. The point is to stand up for ourselves. Never be weak. We have been given the mouth, the speech, the ability has been given. We have to use it. We have to use our freedom of speech. We don't have to be rude, but we can stop ill treatment, injustice by saying, stop, enough. And that is not wrong. And we have to stop questioning God. Stop questioning God and question us. Instead, put those questions to ourselves. The same why has to be questioned to ourselves. Why? If, for instance, Dharma had asked this question to himself, he would have got the answer. I was the foolish one who prayed to God and told the Lord to stop Krishna from coming in. I was the foolish one who agreed to this gambling game knowing fully well I'm not good at it. So if the why question is posed on ourselves, we get the answer like this. A lot of foolish mistakes we have done for which we repent later. We could have stopped that, easily stopped that by opening our mouth, voicing it out. But we kept quiet and we endured it. This is just two incidences, two stories I've related to you, but you won't believe our scriptures are filled with stories like these. Everyone had an identity. Mahabharata, you take every person, they have something to teach you. Karna, Bhishma, Duryodhana, Shaguni, Yashoda, Devaki, Kunti. When I mention any name, you get so many emotions in your mind, right? They have so much to teach us. Kunti told Lord Krishna when he was leaving after the war, she was crying. Kunti couldn't bear the fact that Krishna will be gone. He's just leaving from Hastinapur. Even that was, she couldn't take it. Very painful it was for her because he was always there, right? Now, when he said, "You'll have to let me go now, I need to go back," she had tears. How are we going to stay without you? She said, "Can I ask you one boon? One boon, one gift can I ask you?" She says. Krishna says, "Ask whatever you want." She said, "Always give me worries. Give me worries always so that I always think about you." Krishna smiles and he's okay. That is Kunti. Arjuna, he teaches us how to be devoted, faithful, focused. So everybody have this so many traits that we can learn from to be a better human being, to be more strong and brave and come out successful in whatever little things we take up. No fear, no doubts, always have the faith. I've told you, right? Fear and faith do not go together. You either pick one. What do you want? Fear or faith? They both don't go together. You cannot have both. You need to pick one. I'm hoping all of you will pick faith and you will see light. And that is Madhyoli. Hope you enjoyed the session. Jai Nandalala Madhyoli Charana.